Hello, my name is Samuel Moxham, and welcome to the number 4 devlog. It was August that I made the last one of these, which was a long time ago, and since August I have made nearly all of the assets for the game. All the texturing and all the modeling has been done, and all the animating has been done. Just a few tiny things left to do, which I don't really want to worry about for the next few months. Actually, probably for the next year, depending how long this takes. But I've done a number of small changes since over that period, which I'm going to go through today. And these are just minor tweaks. And I've also spent the last 2 days programming in the basic space station construction, so we can build a space station together at the end of this devlog, which will be cool, and I'll explain all the objects and how it all works and how it all goes together. So the very first thing we see is we've got art and a loading screen. Yay, this lovely art was made by Chanel Murdoch, and she's made a couple of pieces for us, which has been used for promotional stuff, but also in the game. Cool, so we hit play. We've also got the soundtrack, which is implemented, the first 9 tracks. Actually only 6 are implemented at the moment, another 3 have to be added. And here we have the solar system. I'm sorry if it blurs when I move it. I'm trying new video things, as well as you being able to see me. Hello. I've been making a tutorial series on top of making the assets, which is going to be teaching the process of actually making a game in the Blender game engine from scratch to finish, and sort of how to manage resource management and more of the technical side of making a game. Yep, and that should be done within 3 to 4 months, so that's why I'm up here. I thought might as well use the same recording stuff that I used for the tutorial for the devlog. So nothing's changed for the Galaxy, absolutely nothing. The camera is a bit more sensitive, it swivels around a bit quicker, which is nice. But other than that, yeah, cool. So we're going to name this devlog Begin. Now all the solar systems are named. They're named by you guys. So we've got quite a few odd ones. Like I just went past one which was called QWERTY. Let's find someone that I know who named one. I know there's all the people that I know personally have all the edge ones, the least common ones. I can't find any. Clutch man. Nah, can't find one. I'm sorry. So we'll pick a random one. There we go, we've got Tremea. Cool. So instantly the camera moves over to look at our space station, and it looks very pretty. And as you can see, there's no big blue lines. And I'm just going to talk about the solar system. You'll notice how quickly it loaded that time. I've done a few improvements and optimized the way it loads in the planets and the station parts, simply because when it was loading in large space stations, it started getting a bit slow. So yeah, that should be sorted out now. The lines are gone, but they do come back if you zoom out far enough. So let's zoom all the way out. And we just happen to get a really small solar system, and then we can view the entire solar system as a whole. Zoom back in. And the camera now has variable zoom, so you might not have noticed, but it actually the sensitivity of the zoom increases as you go further out, and then as you get closer, and it'll get slower and slower. Also, the camera can now cover larger distances, so it can zoom in. They used to stop about there, but now it can go all the way in and zoom up really close. Okay, all the planets have had their speeds fixed, so none of them whirl around the sun really quickly up really close. And the scales have also been tweaked, so they get really small when they're up close, and they get really big out the edge, and then you also have random on top of that, so you might have a few small ones further out, but you're less likely to have big ones in close in. Cool, and yes, the solar system is now officially bugless. It is pretty much done. All I need to do is add ellipses, but that also requires me to angle them instead of just having them flat. they still collide, so there is a chance that a planet might fly through our space station at some point. And that's pretty much it. We also have a GUI change, so if we look at the top, there's no longer any of that ugly stuff on the top left or right. It's all one piece. And I've just simplified the way we do the GUI, so none of the images have been, well, that's a close call, added yet, but hopefully by the next devlog we'll have heaps of data up here and all this sort of monitoring stuff. Cool, what else is there to talk about? That's pretty much it. Everything else is still the same, there's no probes or satellites there yet. Cool, so let's build a space station. I'm going to explain it to you. So this is our main space station, this is what you will start with. You've got the main piece here with the bottom area, which is where we connect all our extra stuff to. We have two tubes on the edges. The yellow one, these aren't properly implemented yet, as you can see they are casting shadows, which is not good. But the blue one represents the amount of oxygen in the space station, and the yellow one represents the amount of power that space station has. And this piece here is our dock. This is where all our probes, satellites, mining barges, colony ships get shot out of into the space. And this is our what's it called? Gate. Hypergate. I forgot the word for it. You know, when they shoot through and it goes into hyperspeed, light speed, wherever it is. And just keep in mind before we start building a space station, this is all level 1 assets. Every single thing that we build has 5 degrees, and they all have different upgrades, and it changes the appearance of it. So like, if we were to click this, a little upgrade button will come up here, a description, and it will explain that if we upgrade it, we'll get extra 10% speed. And I think upgrade 3 allows you to send out colony ships, and gets bigger as well, the bigger ships that you can send through. Cool, so that's that. Let's go through our assets. So as you see, I clicked the station and this little menu on the left here came up, and if we click the configure button now, it'll come up. We'll click the space station, and if we click this planet, it'll disappear because we can't build onto this planet, which makes sense. Cool. So let's add a corridor. So this is the basic corridor, as you can see it'll snap there. Let's just build one at the bottom there. We'll zoom in on it. There's different kinds of corridors you can build. So this is just a plain one, which is sort of like an extension. But if we scroll with the mouse wheel, we've now got 2 doors, top, bottom. We've then got doors on the sides, and then we've got a 4-piece door system. So let's go top, bottom, and let's just add that around. Usually when I make a video, I design the space station before and then make what I've sort of got in mind. But this time I'm just winging it, just adding one of everything to show you guys. But also let's add one of each corridor type. It's not snapping to the bottom. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Just got a few problems with the sensor blocking the mouse so that the camera won't snap to where it's supposed to go. It's just one of those small things. As far as the space station implementation is going, it's about 1/3 done. At the moment we're adding objects to it, but that's about as far as it goes. I mean, if we were to change into the galaxy view, those assets are still there because they've just been added and left there. Ooh. Sorry, let's go back to our home system. Cool. So let's build everything. These 6 here are our power sources. So we have solar panels, and each upgrade of that just adds more solar panels off to the side. And this will rotate to face the sun, and when you click on it, it will actually tell you how much energy it's generating based on what's blocking the light from hitting the solar panel. So it does actually matter where you position these, and these are all separate pieces, and it's just not finished yet, but the centerpiece will rotate and the panels will rotate so it faces directly to the sun. Cool. We have our nuclear reactors. Bit of a weak asset, but yeah, that generates powers. We have our EGFs, electrical generating fields. We have our vacuum power generators, and we have our fusion power generators. And then on top of that we have batteries, and that just increases the general storage space in the space station. Because you can sell power. You can actually sell it off to the smaller companies that don't have their own means of generating power in their space stations, and there's a special ship that you can send out for that, which is cool. Next one down is our oxygen. So that one there is the oxygen generator. So that supplies the station of oxygen. Oh, sorry, I'm losing control of the camera. And then we also have the tanks. Let me add another corridor there. And that increases the capacity just like the batteries. Some oxygen tanks. Cool. The next thing we have are our research facilities. So this... Ooh, that's a bug. This increases the amount of science generated by your scientists. So it scales based on the amount of scientists you have. And you add scientists by adding offices and then putting scientists in them, which I'll show you. It's at second to the bottom of the list, so I'll add that shortly. So this is the research room. You then have the research dome, like that, and then you have a collider, like a hadron collider. I just sort of did it. Doesn't make sense, but it's cool. Let's go down here. The camera doesn't know what to do. Still so much to fix. Next is we have our storage building type, so let's add some corridors out here to show you them. So the first one we have is our ore storage. Clipped into the battery. Then we have our gas storage. So you can mine asteroids and mine planets, and then you can either sell that directly, or you can manufacture them into goods, which are here. And you can either sell them directly from your mining barge, which costs an arm and a leg to get the stuff, or you can send it back to your main space station. It gets put into the storage and then gets distributed from your main space station. Next is communications. You add those so you can send more probes out. So the higher the upgrade of these, the more probes you can manage out in space, because you'll end up having about 100 out exploring solar systems late game, and that will require quite a lot of these communication things just so you can keep track of it. Next are our offices, and this is the level 1 office. This doesn't actually do anything, it's just an object you add, and then you upgrade this to be either an accounting office, which helps with the money, or a science office, which puts scientists in it, and the scientists generate science over time. So this is one of those objects that you'll have heaps of in your space station, and you'll be building quite frequently. And the very last one that I have implemented currently are the living quarters, and this allows you to have more astronauts. So 1 astronaut per living quarter, and you can have up to 8 astronauts. So you'll end up building 8 of these on your space station somewhere, probably much more pretty than that. But yeah, that's what's been implemented at the moment for the main space station design. So space stations do get quite big in the game, and quite dramatic. It's a very simple one, so yeah, I think the design's thought through. You have to give me your feedback on the space station design, but that's what it is so far. And hopefully by the next devlog, this list of objects here will be a bit bigger. There will be more details up here. The objects will be added to this description, and there will be a save and load system, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe even the probes, because the probes need to be added quite quickly. See how the station's still there in the background. Cool, so I'll see you for the next devlog. Please give me feedback. Oh, sorry, it's gone nighttime and it's changed the green screen settings. Cool, so goodbye.